In today's video, we're going to be diving into part 1 of the series, What If Toji Reincarnated as Deku in MHA World, so be sure to stick around until the end, and let's get started. Any last before you die? The Six Eyes said to me. I looked down to see the left side of my body gone and my left arm, all of my blood gushing out on the floor. I am slowly dying from that attack from the Six Eyes. I look up to the man with a small smile. Nah. About to die without saying another word to my killer, suddenly I saw a black-haired kid looking back at me. In 2 to 3 years, my son will be sold to the Zenin clan. Do what you want with that. My vision turned black telling him that I had finally died and gone to hell for all the stuff I had done, but as I was accepting my death, a bright light emerged from the void and heard voices telling someone to push. It felt like I was swimming in something and swimming through whatever I was in, and the light was burning my eyes, and saw I was in a hospital with a green-haired woman lying down next to a tall blonde man with large bangs. I heard another cry coming from the place I came from and saw a small baby come from the woman, and I now knew what was happening to me. I was reborn. And I was no longer Toji Fushiguro, it seemed. I had a different face, but the same mind crying was all that was heard in the room, and the small family crying with joy over the one child crying. Within the next couple of days I had learned much stuff about this place, and I knew I was no longer in a world with cursed energy, but a place full of interesting powers called quirks. Also, more about my family. My father was called Toshinori Yagi, my mother was Inko Yagi, lastly was my baby sister Izumi Yagi, and I was named Izuku Yagi, which I very much hated. The years were interesting to say. At least the world was full of people playing superheroes, and villains were going around causing the heroes to stop them. Everyone went so wild to see them stop the villains. Even my sister was squealing at the heroes whenever we saw them outside. They were all disgusting. Why would anyone want to be a hero dressing up just to stop a person and cause destruction? Look at the flaming piece of trash leaving broken buildings and causing people's family members to die with his recklessness, and not even just him, it was every hero ruining stuff more than villains, but hey, they protect the weak, can't say anything about that. It had been 3 years since the day of my rebirth, and it felt nice that our family was well off, so I was enjoying myself with money. And with our parents being all might and green as spur, we had a lot of money to spend, which was the only thing I cared about with this family. I had been wandering around, exploring to see what this new world had to offer, but it was just the same as my world, but no cursed energy. As I was walking home, a villain attacked the area where I walking around. A sharp pain on my lip was the last thing I felt. And now I was in a room with my parents standing next to my bed. My mom was crying on my father, and my sister was sleeping next to me while sobbing in her sleep. I lifted my upper body, but my mother quickly pulled me into a hug, crying to me to never leave the house without her. But again, she didn't matter to me. So long as she gave me the money, then I would gladly do what she wanted. It's just that the money she gave me wasn't enough. I wanted more. Even if I have to kill again for money, I will do it. I got up and went to the bathroom to see what the damage was, and all there was is the damn same old scar I had back in my old life, damn it. The doctors told us we could leave when we wanted to, and I sure as hell wanted to leave this place as quick as we came. Mother was holding my hand in a death grip so that I would leave her again, which I felt a feeling in my stomach that I haven't felt in a long time. What was it? Was it the feeling of pity? Or was it love? So if it was, then I kind of like it. The months went by and the scar healed pretty well. It was the same as the old one I had, but who cares right now? I am having fun with my family. The Zenins weren't like this, they only cared for power and power alone. All I hope is that this family isn't like the Zenins. In this family, I feel loved again, and I don't care about money anymore. I hope this lasts. Which was a funny way of thinking, cause right now I was getting beat by the ones I loved. My sister and her friends were all using their quirks on me. This feeling of weakness is coming back just like I was with the Zenins, screaming that I was a failure, hitting me, forcing me to do stuff I didn't want to do. My mother never looked me in the eyes anymore. There was no love in her eyes anymore for me. Father called me a disappointment and beats me like a helpless puppy on the street. I no longer felt the love I longed for. They're just like the Zenin. Today was our birthday today, Izumi and I both turned 4. I heard today is the day our powers will be revealed to us, and felt happy that I was about to finally have power and be accepted by the world without having to work hard and the money I will get. We both have big smiles while driving to the quirk doctor to tell us the power we'll be getting, and that our powers might be the mix of both parents' quirks. We were in a room waiting for the doctor to come with the results. About 20 minutes later, a fat doctor walked in with a mixed expression telling me all I needed to know, that one of us will be the unlucky one. Doctor: Well, Mrs. Yagi, I have some good and bad news. Which do you want to hear? The woman looked at her kids with a worried expression and grabbed both of their hands to reassure them that she was there for them no matter what. Right. Inko? The good news and then the bad news, sir. Doctor: Well, it seems your daughter has what seems to be an Asper kind of quirk much like yours. It seems that your daughter is going to the top with that good quirk of hers. Inko: You hear that, Izumi? You have such a good quirk, honey. Doctor: This is nice and well, let's get to the bad news. Your son is quirkless. We checked and used all the methods we could, but it was the same results. Sorry, ma'am. But any dreams that kid has of being a hero had long been shipped the day he was conceived. I felt my mother let go of my hands as quickly as she heard the word quirkless. The world felt numb as my old world. The look my old mother gave me when she found out I had 0 cursed energy is the same look my mother now is giving in the front mirror and looks away from me when I look at her. The drive came to an end, and we were inside waiting for our father to come home to tell the good news about my sister, but again my mother ignored me like I wasn't there at all, and it got worse when father came home. When he got home, my mother had told him the news about my sister while a happy and proud face. She said my name with a blank face, and my father's face went from happy to pissed. He came marching to me with a heavy step with each one he took and slapped me across the face with a mighty slap that sent me on the ground with a bleeding mouth from the force. He yelled and yelled for about 20 minutes, hitting, slapping, hitting, and more for about another 20 minutes. Lying on the ground with bruises all over my body and a small black eye forming, I lay there limp, taking the beats. When it was over, my father's face went to a calm one, like he didn't just beat his 4-year-old son, and walked out with our family to celebrate the quirk my sister had gotten. After a while, a couple of years went, and I was still doing the best I could. Even if I had the mind of a grown man, I was still a child like my past life, wishing to be something. I still wanted to be a family with them and be a hero to make my father and mother proud of me, not a worthless human being. I don't wish to be another stepping stone for other people to reach the top, but I want to reach the top for them, to make them see me for the hero I am. I started to work out whenever I could, lifting weights with ease and going out for jogs, plus keeping up with my studies to make them see me, but all they could see was my little sister with her powerful quirk and not the stuff I did for them. I still want to be a hero for them. Even if I didn't like heroes, I'd still try for them. The days went by, beatings came and went. The days went quickly, and I was getting tired of trying to impress my father and mother every day, showing them my good grades and my many medals for sports. Everything was not to their standards. They think if you didn't have a quirk, you're nothing and will never be nothing. No matter, I'll try and be a hero, whether they like it or not. I have to be better than their golden child. Izumi was nice for a while, until this day was the day I just stopped caring. Izumi: Hey, brother, do you still want to be a hero? She asked me when walking to school like any other day, with her friends listening closely with open ears, ready to hear my answer. Izuku: Yeah, I do. Why? Her face grew pale, like she didn't want me to say that, but I didn't care. I just walked further to finally reach school and didn't hear what they planned to do for me not to be a hero. Izumi: What do we do, guys? He doesn't have a quirk, and I'm worried he will die without powers. Katsumi: I am also worried about Aiken. I don't want him to die. Shoko: Yes, I too don't want Aiken to die in battle. The two guys walking in front of them turned their heads to the ladies talking about Izuku and had a plan to ruin his dreams and not die a powerless nerd. Katsuki: We could bully him to not be a hero. Shoto. Yeah, what Katsuki said will be a good idea. The girls looked horrified about the plan, not agreeing with the plan to break Izuku's dreams and possibly ruin their chances of being with the love of their dreams, but the boys were pressuring them both to agree with them, and they both caved in when Izumi said she liked the idea. That day Izuku's hell would come and kill him for sure. It started with insults, pushing, and more insults, and the more the years went by the more ruthless the twins and my sister had gotten. They abused me every day using their quirks on me, making me feel more powerless than I already was. The group one day dragged me into the woods to practice their quirks for the UA they all wanted to go to for high school. Boom boom, ha ha ha, quirkless freak, why were you even born in this world? You reject, ha ha ha, why don't you give up, you wannabe hero? Insults after insults, beatings after beatings, scream after scream. I had given up on this so-called world that only values power over life. The group walked away from me, laughing as I was bleeding and burnt. The ground was filled with blood and scorch marks. I could hear laughing far away from the group while I lay there helpless until I was about to pass out. I heard something familiar. Mommy, hug me please. Get Izuku. I looked up to see a familiar dark purple slug. It was my inventory curse. But how did it get here? I thought this world didn't have any cursed energy or cursed spirits. Then when I saw my cursed spirit, I suddenly remembered. So if the cursed spirit is here, then so should the thing. Inventory curse spit out a medkit for me to patch myself up and took around an hour for the bandages to heal my body slowly. But who cares, don't want to die knowing that it was still on me. I closed my eyes to sense my surroundings and saw footprints leading back to where I was taken and the odor of sweat from the twins' explosion. Opening my eyes, I raised my fist and punched the hard tree, and the place where I punched obliterated the side of the tree. With one punch, I tested it out with a large rock and it broke into pieces like nothing. Tying my shoes, I got ready to test my speed, hoping it was the same as before I blitzed towards tree after tree in a blur, hopping into a dense forest to test my reflexes. Next, with incoming branches, I dodged every branch seen from my eyes for hours until dark. It seems that the Heavenly Pact is still on me, so that explains why I didn't get a quirk. Well, it doesn't matter to me anymore soon. I'll be killing for money, just like old times, huh buddy? I picked up the curse, and he shrank himself for me to swallow until I am ready to kill. Again the years came and gone. The beating got worse, but since I knew I had the Heavenly Pacted, the beatings never hurt at all. Not even the quirks hurt me anymore. It was around the 10th grade that I knew that I was ready for my first task of getting money. I searched online for underground sites for hired killers and found one when searching. TM. I need you to eliminate someone for me by tonight. The client wishes to be unknown due to not wanting to be known by you. He wishes that you kill the person as quickly as possible. No need for being stealthy at all, just shoot the person and leave for the money. Try to be done by 2:30. If done quickly, you will get a nice reward and will send info when you kill the person. The post I made on the site had my very first customer with a very kind amount of cash for the hit 25 grand plus another 5 grand if the job was done quickly. I quickly got my clothes on for the job, a red sweater with black jeans, and awaited the night when I knew this family wouldn't care if I was gone. The time had come for the job, and the client wanted the job done by 2:30 or less for extra pay. If done in less time than the job time was given, the info had finally been shared to my phone and surprised me with who I was hired to kill. Name: Masaru Bakugo. Quirk: Acid Sweat. Age: 43. Reasons for killing: Masaru was stealing money from his company and had blamed on an innocent person, knowing full well that the innocent person would be sent to prison for deeds. Well, I got a job to do, uncle, so no hard feelings. I thought as I leaped from one building to another. It was already 1:00 when I made it to the place Masaru was last seen. Shit, better make this quick so I can get paid more, Inventory curse came out of my mouth and wrapped around my body to make it easy to pull out a knife or a gun if I needed it. I ended up choosing the pistol with no silencer just to make it quick for the money. The target was walking down the street with a woman in an alleyway that was perfect for the kill. Jumping down into the alley, the curse spit out the gun I wanted and shot the girl next to him, not caring if I killed a person innocent. Masaru yelled in surprise to see the woman had a small hole in the middle of her forehead and looked to see his nephew had killed the girl next to him. Masaru, Izuku, what the hell? Why did you do that? Drop the gun. He was worried about his nephew having a gun and killing a person. He was also worried that he was next. Masaru saw Izuku lift the gun like he was thinking about something. Izuku, well, nothing personal, uncle, but this is by Masaru. Wait, Izuku, please don't do anything, huh? A loud bang was heard in the alley and Izuku was taking a picture of his uncle's dead body for the client. Now he waited to see his money and bonus for doing the job in less time. 1:15 was the time he killed Masaru. Walking away from the alley, he looked in the glass window to see his face. The scar and ugly-looking rat nest on his head, which disgusted him to have the same hair as his mother's and sister's. He thought of finally getting rid of this hair for the look that he had before dying. He would fix his hair tomorrow, so now that he had money, he would start to save the money he had earned to find a new house for himself with good payable rent and finally leave that God-forsaken place once and for all. I woke up to a loud sobbing coming from the living room and saw Mitsuki Bakugo crying on my mother's shoulder, telling her about the death of her husband killed by a shot to the head. The blonde woman sobbing, seeking. I just smirked at the sight. I was witnessing the total breakdown of the woman, and now at the twins to suffer just as much as he did. They all didn't notice me walking out with a wide grin, and finally fixed my rat nest hair so that I could finally say goodbye to this horrendous green hair of that woman. The salon was rather comfy when I made it there, and a couple came walking out greeting me with a huge smile. They asked me what I wanted and asked for my hair to be dyed and fix my hair to be flat. It took around an hour for my hair to go from a rat nest to a pretty normal-looking person with flat black hair, but a bunch of bangs hanging in front of my eyes. Huh, I look the same as in the last world, but with a small build. I paid the pink lady the money I owed her for the haircut and left a post that I was available for the next job for more money. The next few days were filled with murder, money, and so on for the next couple of years until one battle that paid a lot. It was around when he turned 16. He was in the skills of when he was in his prime and when he died to the Six Eyes user. Target, Kai Chisaki aka Overhaul. Quirk, we have seen our boss explode into blood with the flick of wrist. Age, unknown. Reason for killing, Overhaul has killed the leader of our group and we want this fucking animal off our backs. Reward, 5,000 plus 500,000. If you kill all his goons, extra cash will be sent. Finally someone with a higher paying job to kill this poor bastard, and if I get this money won't have to live here anymore. With that, I accepted the job and thought that the job would be easy for me. It was easy, but just some minor inconvenience that occurred during the killing spree I went on. The night shined in the bright night, the city lights bristling like 1,000 stars in the sky. Ah, please Don / please spar bang. I don't want to die bang, I'll give you money you want mo /. The base of Overhaul was filled with mangled corpses and guys with bullet holes in their skulls, but none of his powerful goons that had 500,000 on each of their heads, just their little lackeys that weren't worth the time. I walked down a maze of stone walls wondering if they were ever going to show up at all until the wall burst open with 3 goons in front of him getting ready to attack him. They were none other than Kendo Rappa, Deidoro Sakaki, and Sorimitsu Tabe standing in front of him acting cocky. Kendo. Look at this little runt, I'm going to rip you apart after I'm done beating you into a blood spot where you stand. Kendo rushed Izuku while the others were confident that Kendo would kill off the kid with one punch, but were sadly mistaken. Izuku's speed had reached its absolute peak and blitzed next to Deidoro with a slash to the neck, killing him instantly with one full swing of his katana. The other two were in utter shock that the boy just standing his ground teleported next to their comrade and sliced him off like butter. They both began to feel fear creeping up on them, and the boy was the prey hunting them down like the cattle they were. Screaming his lungs out with a mighty roar, Kendo swung his right arm to punch the boy and hopefully kill the brat. He just disappeared into thin air again when his fists came close to hitting him. The spot he tried to punch blew up in smoke from the debris, and as the smoke cleared, the boy was seen with a weird slug on his shoulder with a sword hilt coming from its mouth. He pulled it out, revealing a sword with white fur on the hilt on his shoulders, which when seeing the sword it gave them both a chill on their spines, like death was coming its way to them tonight. Sorimitsu. Kendo, this guy is dangerous. We gotta fight at the same time so that the boss can finish his work. The weird-looking guy with a mask hiding his face told Kendo, who now agreed to this, that it was either them or him. Either way, they both knew if they failed overhaul, he would just kill them for failing, and if they both fought this guy, they would still die, so they both decided to fight with all their strength to the bitter end. Sorimitsu took off his mask and ran toward Izuku, hoping to bite the guy's neck off, but failed in the end. He got backhanded by him, breaking half of his teeth and sending him flying towards the wall and hitting his neck on impact, snapping his neck, killing him instantly. Kendo stood in awe that he just killed another one of his comrades with one hit, feeling more frightened by his immense strength, which was probably stronger than any punches he pulled on someone. The guy stood there with a wicked grin on his face due to getting $1,000 in less than 5 minutes, and in turn Kendo's face grew with rage, his heart drumming like crazy at the sight of the man. His instincts told him to turn tail and live his life to the fullest, but in the end he pushed forward. The world went silent for him. The time seemed to go slow as the man slowly got his sword ready to attack and finally end his life. Kendo didn't feel anything, but he felt empty when he slashed at him. Thud. Izuku looked at the dying man with a smirk on the ground. He started to run toward the direction the 3 idiots came from and found more talking on the phone with someone and worrying about the 3 men he had just killed without any mercy. Jumping from his spot, the 3 men rushed at Izuku in hopes of killing the man who broke into their hideout with ease and had made their boss very angry, killing any that got near him. Yu Hojo saw an opening and rushed to deal with the final blow and end the guy, but was punched by him fast. Having seen the punch, Yu activated his quirk. Yu, haha, that didn't even hurt. My skin is all crystal, and it didn't even affect me, you bastard. He rushed in again and was now fully confident that he could kill this man without any help. Pulling his crystal fist back ready to punch him, Yu punched his right cheek with one mighty punch. Slash. Drip, drip, drip. The sound of water splashing down was heard in the quiet room. Yu looked at his arm that was gone. Yu, my arm. Why is it gone? Where did my arm go? I thought my skin was impenetrable with the crystal skin. Backing away while looking at his right arm gone, he was in disbelief that this was happening. Blood was pouring out at an alarming rate, but was still in a state of shock, wondering why over and over again. Yu, my fucking arm is gone. Izuku slashed his head off with a swift swing, breaking the pillar next to him into tiny rocks. Toya ran to Izuku, clashing swords with each other, and Izuku held his ground against the man twice his age. Sparks flew from the 2 blades clashing. Toya, it seems you 2 also use sword care to test who is the better swordsman. Izuku, sure. They both jumped away, looking at one another dead in the eyes, both aiming to kill and finish the battle quickly. Toya was the first to engage in the battle with an upward slash to the chin and was parried with ease. He slashed and slashed in the most precise slashes, aiming for the insta-kill. He felt he was winning against the guy, but sadly that wasn't the case. Izuku dodged his slash perfectly and ended the battle in 3 fast slices to Toya's chest. Start at 132 and end at 141. Blood spraying on the floor like a broken fountain that was smashed to pieces. Rikiya paled at the sight of blood everywhere. He was panicking at the blood of his comrade's headless body and slashed up body. Rikiya was having what seemed to be a panic attack, breathing heavily while running and yelling for overhaul like a little child crying for his daddy. Rikiya, please, I can't die here. Overhaul, please help me, please. Looking down, he was stabbed in the chest, bleeding and crying tears about not wanting to die there like that. Izuku, shut up, man. Bang. Izuku shot the little grown crybaby sobbing for his daddy. Walking down some stairs, he heard faint crying coming from a room and checked out the room to see a bed with a big lump on it, and the lump hiccuping and quietly sobbing about not wanting this anymore, which confused him. Izuku, hey, you okay in the blankets? The lump stopped shaking and went stiff hearing his voice. He was wondering who was in the bed and decided to tear off the blankets to see who it was, maybe even kill it, but was disappointed that it was a little girl. The girl had a little horn on the right side of her forehead and rags that smelt like blood. She looked terrified look on her face as if I was about to do something to her. Izuku, hey, it's all right, I won't hurt you, promise. She looked up at the scar on his lip and blood all over his shirt with a slug on him snuggling his chest, which oddly helped the girl calm down with her sobbing. WW, what's why your N names, sir? The little girl softly spoke to him, afraid he might hurt her, which he would not. He may be a hired killer, but he isn't an animal to kill a little child, but doesn't want to expose his name to her just in case the heroes ask for it. Izuku, well, little girl, my name is Toji Fushiguro, what's your name? He introduced him to her just to make her feel at ease, and that sure calmed her down with her shaking. My name is Iri Big Brother. Izuku Toji, Big Brother? Iri, yes, Big Brother, you are my big brother now. Big Brother Toji. Before he got the chance to react to it, someone walked in and Izuku quickly stabbed the person against the wall with blood gushing from his mouth, pleaded not to be killed until Izuku twisted the blade, killing him off. Next to the guy he killed was a small creature whimpering next to him and just shot him 3 times because how ugly he was. He decided to end this battle quickly, do a little minor inconvenience, and also not wanting to be long as it already was getting. Further down the hallway, there was a metal door reeking of even more blood, the same as the smell on the girl's rags, and he kicked the open to see Overhaul putting red like pills in a briefcase. He looked at Izuku with a massive amount of bloodlust and animosity, most likely about him killing all his goons easily or taking this girl next to him. That seemed to set him off because the girl was next to him covering herself behind Izuku, shaking more than she was in the room. Izuku, I got a job to do and I kind of want end, so do me a favor and die already. Overhaul, you got some nerve taking my only cure to this gross world. Give her back. You vile quirked monkey. Shin, get here now. He saw a man running to Overhaul with a black cloak to him with his hands reached for Overhaul, but Izuku was getting pissed off over this and ran towards the running Shin with his sword ready. Shin's head rolled off his body with a thud and Izuku kicked his lifeless body away from Overhaul. The act greatly pissed him off, sending wave after wave of spikes trying to kill him, but he was too fast for them to ever reach him. Toji evaded another flurry of attacks sent to him. Overhaul was getting even more angry at him and was yelling at him to stop moving. Overhaul saw that he stopped and saw his chance to end this all and get his cure back. But it didn't go as he planned. Toji pulled out another set of tool, which was the playful clouds, to knock back the spikes when they almost hit him. Overhaul what he did and started to feel what most of his comrades must have felt when he was threatening to kill them. It was fear. He felt fear for the first time since he was a child. Toji was afraid of him now and was going to end this. Finally wanting to end this pitiful battle, Izuku was behind him with the split soul katana, slashed his arms off, and pulled out a combat knife to stab his skull, killing once and for all. The body of Overhaul was lying lifeless on the ground, and Izuku took pictures of his dead body for confirmation that he had killed him for his money. Izuku Toji, damn, that took longer than it had to be, but oh well, at least I'm getting all that money and one more thing to take care of before I go. Izuku walked up to the girl, staring at the body of her tormentor, and crouched in front of her to not look at the mess he made. The girl was sobbing thanks to him like he was a god, which he was annoyed at, but he let it happen since she was getting experimented on for stuff. Izuku Toji, okay, kid, well, I'm done here, just wait here for the heroes to find you. Bye. He started to walk out of the base, telling his client that the job was done and everyone was dead. The person on the phone was yelling in the joy that his boss was avenged, and that Izuku was getting another bonus for wiping out the shy Hasakai, which he was happy about, and thanked the old man. The girl came running out crying for him to not go and leave her. Izuku ignored her calls, ready to get out of there and not wanting to get caught by any heroes, but she was hanging on to his leg with an iron grip, not letting go until he stayed. "Eri, please don't leave me, big brother Toji." Eri was crying into his pants, begging him to stop while he was trying to walk away from the base, which was about to be raided by cops, and he didn't want to get caught right now, about to get his $10,000. With a sigh, he stopped at the front gate and pulled her off his leg. Eri was still bawling her eyes for him. "Izuku Toji, Sai here, wear this until the police and heroes come." "Eri, what is his name?" "Izuku Toji. Izuku Toji, Megumi." He removed his inventory curse for her to wear and calm her down, which it did. The curse shrank down to fit her small frame and snuggled around her neck. With that done, Izuku ran to an alley that was far from the base and waited for the curse to make its way back to him. He sure didn't want to leave the curse with her in case the heroes took it from her, and that would put even more work on him just to get it back, or the curse having to crawl its way back to him. That would probably take a week or more. 20 minutes later, Sir Nightai and a couple of heroes ran to the gate of the base to find a girl with a slug on her shoulders. The loud noise woke the little girl up and scared her, and she hugged the slug tighter to protect herself and the slug from the people in front of her. The police ran inside to see what happened inside because of the tip they had gotten from a person saying there were screaming and gunshots at the house, and the police were horrified at the sight of cut-in-half bodies with a face that looked like it was still crying, and some with dried-up tears on their eyes, which the police were looking at the heads with pity that had happened to them. Sakachi was trying to talk to the girl, but had no luck with the girl covering her face with the slug that weirded him out that it had a face and looked like it was breathing. Again, he was still trying to ask her what happened, but was still not being answered, which he got because any small child would be afraid of what had happened here with the dead body and blood everywhere. He reached for her and was not expecting her to react to his touch, but she didn't scream for herself but for that slug. "Eri, don't touch Megumi." Everyone looked at the girl screaming, wondering why she was not accepting their help, and Sakachi pulled his hand away from the slug, not wanting to cause any more distress to her. "Sakachi, hey, don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you or Megumi, okay? I just want to help you both, if that is all right." "Eri, my name is Ere, and this is Megumi that Big Brother Toji gave me until you guys came." Sakachi, "Big Brother Toji, who is that Eri, if I may ask?" "Ere, my big brother saved me from that scary man in the basement." That got his attention when she said the scary man in the basement, and he wondered if she knew about this attack that was now confirmed to be one. "Sakachi, can you describe your big brother to me, Ere?" Eri looked at him and looked away like she didn't want to tell on him, and that was true. She didn't want her big brother Toji getting in trouble with these people just for saving her from overhaul. "Eri? No, I don't want big brother to get in trouble." Sakachi was confused that she did not want to tell him about the possible suspect in the crime scene with many dead guys in the house. Sakachi, "Eri, please, we need this so we can put away the person who did all of this." Eri looked upset with him for saying that they would put her big brother away from her, which she didn't want that to happen to Megumi and him getting taken away from him too. "Eri, no, go away." As she yelled for them to go away, the curse started to move from her and slide to the ground to make its way back to Izuku, who was now on top of a building waiting for his curse. It took longer than it did to get to him. They all looked in disgust at the curse that it was moving and calling for its mommy, which greatly weirded them out, but Sir Nightai was following it because he had a suspicion that it was going back to the person who massacred all of the Yakuza, selling an item that forcibly turned off quirk, and was kind of relieved to see that it was no longer getting made, but then again he has to bring in the person who killed all these guys. Walking into an alley, the slug stopped to look up at a person standing on the roof of the building. But before he was ready to attack, the figure disappeared in a flash in front of him. Much to his surprise, it didn't attack him but picked up the slug and saw a glimpse of the person's eyes, which were an emerald green. Tsukachi, Nightai, are you all right? Nightai, yeah, but the person got away with the slug, and I did see his eyes though they were green, but still didn't get anything else to know who it was. Tsukachi, damn, and the only one to know who it is that girl Eri who is not telling us who he is, but the only thing that I got was his name was Toji. Nightai, no matter, we will figure it out and bring that Toji guy in for what he did. Random officer, detective and Sir Nightai, we have gathered all that was in the base, and with the body of overhaul, everything is ready to pack up for the report, but it seems that the bullets we were after are missing. Tsukachi, thank officer, you can head back now. They had gathered all of the evidence from the crime to try and help them figure out the suspect, now named Toji. Eri was in a hospital to recover from the torture overhaul had put her through and was still not giving the description of Toji. Even when they tried to force her to, she would cry and use her quirk as a defensive mechanism so they would stay away from her and her big brother Toji. Eraserhead would always turn off her quirk whenever she did, so she was in the care of Eraserhead just in case she lost control. The next day, Izuku woke up to check his bank to see if they had kept their promise for the $10,000, and was happy to know that it was in there with not a single dime left out. Seeing the date, Izuku stared at it with dead eyes, hoping that he would just move out of this godforsaken hellhole already, but he needed to look for a house willing to rent out to a 16-year-old. Getting up from his single bed, he started to stretch his aching bones from lying on his bed. Izuku just wanted this day to end so he could just go out and eat instead of here, so that now he had enough of his unheard rants and got ready to head to school. The days were the same, mother not leaving a plate for him and his sister giving him the stink eye, so he just decided to skip breakfast and just went to school ready to ignore the people at school talking about him behind his back, and that was the day just getting talked about and bullying from the twins and his sister. The day was ending when Izuku was packing his bag to leave the classroom but was shoved to the ground by an explosion that didn't hurt, but he had an act to play. Katsuki, where do you think you are going, quirkless nerd? Izumi, what home? You don't even belong at my house. Izuku just sat on the ground, taking the insults they gave him with no signs of them stopping until they saw him just staying on the floor with his head down, not saying anything at all, and they all decided that it was enough. Katsuki, I know of a way you can get a quirk, you useless piece of trash. Take a swan dive off the roof and hope you get one, but even if you did get a quirk, it would still not be enough to beat us. The group walked out laughing at Izuku like he was a piece of rock they could throw around, and Izuku had enough of them and just wanted to leave forever. He just got ready to go and head home to the worst day that left him miserable. Both his and his sister's birthday was today, finally turning 17, which means today is the day he would leave the Yagis behind to free himself from them once and for all. He didn't want to go home yet, so Izuku walked around looking for a place to eat so that he wouldn't have to eat Inko's gross food. He found a place that had good ramen, much to his delight. Izuku walked into the small ramen place without seeing a pair of blue eyes looking at him from a distance. Walking in, he saw that other people were enjoying their food and saw a seat far from the other and sat down so that he could eat in peace for once. Female waiter, welcome, sir. What will you have today? Izuku, let me get the miso soup ramen with extra meat on the side and any kind of soda you think is good. OMG, he is so hot. Female waiter, oh, of course, sir, will that be all? Izuku, yeah, that would be all. Never mind, get 2 of the same order for my friend here. Female waiter, coming right up, sir, you have to wait 20 minutes for them both. Enjoy your stay. Izuku, you're welcome, dear. So what do you want with me, man? You're cool for noticing me, and yeah, I got some stuff to do with you. Izuku, so a job, huh? What kind of job? 'Cause if you want to hire me to mow your lawn, man, then it's 40 per hour and... Cut the bullshit. I know who you are, Toji Fushiguro. Izuku looked at the guy with his hood up, scratching his hand, and saw that his skin looked gross. Izuku, so you want someone dead or brought to you alive? Chuckle, yeah, something like that, but my boss kinda wants to meet you. Izuku, meet me? Nah, I don't do personal meetups, not unless I know who wants to meet me. Well, you just got to come and see who it is. Who wants to meet you, Toji? Izuku, seems like you want to lure me into some trap with the way you are talking to me, or maybe they want revenge for killing someone important to them. Nah, my boss just wants to meet you, that's all and nothing else. Izuku, well, I'll see what I can do if you're desperate for me to meet them, and oh, while we're talking about this, let's eat before we go on, I'm really hungry. All right. Female waiter, here you gentlemen go and please enjoy it. Thanks. Izuku, yeah, thanks. Both the men ate the food Izuku ordered for them, and after a couple of minutes, they were done eating the food and paid the waitress with a tip from Izuku. Izuku and the guy were walking where fewer people were walking around. So are you going to meet my boss or not? Izuku, at least give me your name, man. He just looked at Izuku with a somewhat annoyed face and looked away from him. It's Dabai. Now are you going to meet him or not? Izuku, sure, just give me a location to meet and I'll be there in a week. Dabai, there is a bar in Kamino Ward that is where we meet a lot, and here is a card so that you get there quickly. The boss doesn't like it when people are late. Peace, Toji. Izuku, yeah, peace, Dabai. Izuku saw that Dabai was gone already and walked away from the area to not look suspicious to people walking around and walked home to his hell of a family. Making it halfway, he saw a familiar white hair walking towards his home, and it was his auntie who did not ignore him or hurt him. Izuku tapped on her shoulder, which surprised her and made her jump a bit. Rei, oh Izuku, hello sweetie, it's nice to see you. How are you doing? Izuku, hello Auntie Rei, and I'm doing good nowadays. Rei, oh my Izu, what did you do to your hair, my god? Izuku, I just wanted to change up my look a bit, you know. Rei looked at his face and saw a noticeable mark that only people get from frostburn and made an angry look that she was disappointed. Rei, are my son and daughter still being bullies to you, Izu? Izuku looked at the lady and thought that she didn't know like the rest, but he knew she was pretty smart, unlike the rest of his other family members. Izuku, yeah, they still are. Rei, geez, and here I thought that they would be kind like Fayumi, but they're just like their father, only caring about power and not the person. Rei Hamura 1. Quirk, Frost. Status, divorced. Info. After her first son died, Rei had a mental breakdown from the loss of him and the daily beatings from her ex-husband Enji. She was later sent to a mental hospital due to trying to commit suicide, but was later released a couple of years after being healthy enough to leave the home and was now living with her daughter in an apartment. Izuku, enough about me, how are you and Fayumi doing? I heard she finally got that job she wanted for a while. Rei, we are good, just doing the same stuff we normally do, and oh, since it's your birthday, I was making my way there to wish you a happy birthday, Izu, and give you a present, she said while getting a box that was wrapped in a green wrap with bunnies on it, which she always thought he looked like when he didn't dye his hair black and fixed his curly hair. Izuku grabbed the present from her with a bit of excitement from her always getting him really good stuff. Izuku opened it to see a necklace with a snowflake hanging from it and thought it was a nice gift because it was from her. Izuku, this looks nice, thanks Rei. Rei, it's no big deal Izu, put it on so that we can see if you fit it. He put on to not anger the happy-looking lady, which reminded him of his first wife in his last world. Rei, oh, it looks nice on you, Izu. I'm glad that it did. Izuku, me too, Auntie, thanks for the gift. They both hugged each other and Rei squeezed him half to death with a motherly hug he had not gotten since he was 4. Izuku let go of her and waved goodbye to her when she said that she had to get home to do some chores. 15. Izuku made it home to see some cars in the driveway, and the one he saw was a midnight purple car, which was his other auntie who cared for him, Nimiri Kayama. She was protective of him and spoiled him a lot when she saw him walking home from school. He was kind of worried about seeing Tsukachi's car with Night Eyes next to his because he said he had seen his eyes when he last saw him in the alley next to Overhaul's base. Making his way up the stairs, he opened the door to see everyone eating and laughing about some funny jokemas. Joke Aka Emi Fukukado, the most annoying woman he has ever met in both worlds, and Izuku tried to walk in without someone seeing, but this was not the case. Izuku, what happened to your hair? Looking in the corner of the living room was his other sweet auntie yelling in surprise over his new hair change, which she was freaking out about. Izuku? Hey Nimiri. Izuku tried walking away from her, but was swept into a tight hug by her, and his hair was ruffled by her. Nimiri, hey, you look like me with your black hair. Izuku bet that you would like Izu. She was flirting with her nephew in a joking way to finally get him to blush, but was not successful with it, and she let go of him to give her present to him. Nimiri, anyway, Izu, here is my gift to you, my sweet little nephew. She pulled out the gift wrapped in a midnight wrap that she found funny and gave it to him with a smile. The gift was a bracelet with her real name engraved on it. She excitedly took it out to put on his left wrist, which again was flirting with him about getting married. Izuku, thank Nimiri, this was a nice gift. All that was present at the table looked at the two talk the whole time, some wondering why Izuku changed his look, and the rest, like the Yagis, were eating their food, ignoring Izuku as they had been for years. Izuku, I have to get something upstairs really quick. Nimiri, okay, I'll be down here if you need me, okay, Izuku? Izuku walked past everyone without batting an eye at them, but when he walked past Murray, he looked at Izuku directly in the eyes like he was trying to figure something out just from seeing his eyes. He has the exact eyes from that night. Let's hope he doesn't figure me out quick, or I guess I'll kill everyone here. When he was up the stairs, Izuku picked up the pace to grab his clothes to leave and be gone from this place at last. He grabbed his duffel bag full of clothes he needed to wear outdoors, and the normal clothes he wore to kill people. All packed up to leave the place. He remembered what he was missing, the envelope of cash for renting out a hotel until he could find a nice house for himself. Izuku then walked out of his little room that left him with no space at all for stretching, and made his way downstairs to tell his family something. Izuku walked in front of the table and bowed to them. Izuku, thank you for letting me stay here, mother and father, but I have found a house for myself, and I have already paid to live there now, so this is goodbye. Izuku walked to the door to put on his shoes and was pulled to whoever was grabbing him. The person who grabbed him was his mother. Inko, where are you moving to, son? And why didn't you tell us beforehand? Izuku, well, you were both too busy with your hero work, and I just gave up on telling you guys about it. Inko looked shocked, and so did Toshinori. Thought he didn't know that they were heroes. Inko, what do you mean, son? We're not heroes. Izuku, come on, it's not hard to figure out that you guys are heroes, because why do we have famous heroes like our uncles and aunties, like Nimiri is Midnight and your queen is Spur, and that also father is All Might? Like, come on. It's not hard to find out your guys' faces are very were. The heroes were stunned that Izuku figured out his father and mother were top pro heroes. Izuku, well, I have to get going now, bye. Nimiri, Izuku, where are you going? Izuku, I'll text you my address when I finally get to move to Nimiri. See you later. He had finally walked out of that house and was now a free man from it. Izuku ran to feel the freshness he was finally smelling in a long time. The man at the counter in the lobby hotel had given his key to Izuku with a smile, telling him to have a great stay at their hotel. Unlocking the door to his room, he laid down on the big bed with a sigh, and now he was starting to think about what Dabai had told him a couple of hours ago. Well, shit, better get ready to meet his mystery boss who wants to meet me. Might as well go to see what they want from me, but I guess since we have a week till the meeting, we just chill out until then. Izuku thought while looking outside of the window with a grin. A week had passed since the talk with Dabai about the meeting in a couple of hours, and was walking toward where he had to meet up with them. The outside of the place looked like a dump, but as he walked into the place, it had a nice fancy look to it, but not too fancy, and he saw a guy with a misty head cleaning cups and other people who he couldn't see sitting on a table facing away from him. "Ah, you must be our guests we sent our guy to bring to us. Welcome, Mr. Fushiguro." "Izuku Toji." "Yes, so why did you want to meet me? You got a job for me." "Yes, we asked for your presence because the young master wanted to meet with you today." "Izuku Toji, so where is the young master you are talking about?" "He is sitting on the table behind you, Mr. Fushiguro." Izuku looked behind him to see a guy with hands on his body and a couple of other people with him looking at him with curiosity. A blonde girl smiled at him with a crazy grin, and the other one was Dabai, who was not paying attention to him at all. "So this is the famous top-tier killer Toji Fushiguro, right? Oh well, he doesn't look like much." "Izuku Toji, who are you?" "Well, I'm the one who wanted to meet you, Toji. But my name is Tamura Shigaraki, and we are the League of Villains." "Izuku Toji, Tamura, huh? I saw your name on a bounty once and was about to accept it, but it was removed the minute it was uploaded to that underground site. I could have had 20 million if I went for it." "Tamura, please, you would have died the second we met." "Izuku Toji, if I could kill everyone in that Yakuza along with Overhaul, then I doubt I would have trouble killing everyone here." Dabai, "Wait, you were the one who killed that Yakuza?" "Tamura, enough. I didn't call you here to brag about your killing and having all the glory to yourself. I called you here to talk about some stuff." "Izuku Toji, so what did you want to talk about then, or is this just a trap?" "Tamura, I want you to join us and be a part of the League of Villains." "Izuku Toji, join you? Nah, I only do jobs, not to join no one." Tamura looked angry that he had just been rejected and was thinking about just killing Izuku here and now, but as soon as he was about to run at him, Tamura stopped at a commanding voice. "Tamura, there is no need for violence. We just want to talk to young Fushiguro here." "Tamura, yes, sensei." "Izuku, now who is this?" "Well, hello, young Fushiguro. It is nice to finally meet you." "Izuku, listen, did I just come here to get asked to join you, or are you going to hire me to kill someone because I'm running out of patience right now?" "Ah, yes, it seems you don't wish to join us, right? Why is that?" "Izuku, just don't want to join people." "All right, young Fushiguro, will respect your wishes, and I do have a job you can do for me." "Izuku, all right, what do you want done?" "Kurogiri, give young Fushiguro the details on that phone next to you." "Kurogiri, of course, master. Here you go, Mr. Fushiguro. All the details are on that phone. You can do it any time you wish, and if you ever decide to join us, come back to this place. We will welcome you with open arms." Izuku just walked out as soon as he was done talking, which greatly annoyed Tamura, who was now seething while aggressively scratching his neck, breaking a cup much to the annoyance of Kurogiri. "Tamura, why couldn't we kill him, master?" "Patience, Tamura, sooner or later he will come ask for our help." "Tamura, all right, master." Izuku walked out of the bar back to his hotel and looked to see who he was hired to kill. He just grinned at the screen, hoping it was real, and liked how much he was willing to be paid by that man. Let's wait for a good chance for this, and then I'll go in. So that concludes our first part of our series. Stay tuned for the second part of the series. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.